You know, if I didn't know better, I could have sworn you guys have this thing for bunny-centric fix. I don't know if it's because you guys like my voice when it goes southern, because I really am southern, but it seems that you guys like it when my voice goes back to being like this and turns like this for about a few minutes. Or if you guys just like Bunny that much. And to be fair, of the freaking fires that I would want to come back in IDW, she and Sally are tops. Or if you guys just have a really deep love of watching a funny kick-ass take names for the sake of love and power and all that. I don't know. Well, here's Chapter 9, A Hedgehog Captured. Sonic stood by his stove, waiting for the pot of sauce in front of him to come to a complete boil. Some hot dogs were cooking on a nearby indoor grill his uncle whipped up for him. His mouth watered at the prospect of scarfing down a few chili dogs on this bitterly cold winter day. Sonic glanced outside his window as the blizzard raced on. Darn it, Lisa, calm it down. And the storm raged on. Don't worry, Trixie's not getting the mail, so she doesn't know. Today was the kind of day where Sonic wanted nothing more than to crawl under the covers and sleep till the next morning. The storm had already dumped another foot of snow, and Knothole was half buried in white. He knew he had to spin his way out if he went out, but he just likely had to spin his way in. If he kept up much longer, he might even need Sandra's help. He thought back to when he filled the power ring generator to make her a bracelet. He had also thought to make himself one, or maybe one that was small enough to wear on his finger. But Uncle Chuck had warned him against doing that too often.
It might explode the generator, he told his nephew. When I first created it, I think Steve had a long-term charge on one. It might not be a good idea to create more than one a year.
And yet, according to one Mobian lore, those magic power rings power the ships. Sonic grabbed a can of beans. Sonic knew it made sense. Besides, he had to come up with another way to get a long-term charge on a power ring, and it would take no more time or power usual. But he was saving that for something special. Or accurately, someone special. But that wouldn't be for a long while yet. Sonic grabbed a can of beans and started opening it up. He was glad he made sure to stock up on supplies the last time he raided Robotropolis. Uncle Chuck had clued him in to where Snively kept his stores, and Sonic made sure to get what he needed, especially seeing the crops had been poured that year. As he finished opening the lid, something shot out of the can. Sonic dropped the can in surprise, falling backward. When he landed, he saw a couple of spring-loaded snakes lying on the ground beside the can. Man, that's an old one, he thought, getting to his feet. One of the snakes had landed his pot sauce, and another on the grill. Great, he grumbled, trashing everything and setting out the stove and grill. There went lunch. Sonic heard a soft laughing outside his hut. It's one! He yelled in the air, recognizing his voice. He grabbed his coat and opened the door as he heard the muffled sound of boots hurrying away. He spun through the piling snow, looking around. He spied Antoine running by Sally's hut and hid in that direction. Antoine stood calmly in front of the recently shoveled walkway to Sally's hut, smiling as Sonic came closer. He waited until Sonic was only a few feet away, then stepped deftly to the side. Sonic tried to change direction, but lost his poor footing as the unusually icy walkway. Sonic went down slowly towards Sally's door. Oh man, this ain't good! He yelled, trying vainly to put on the brakes. Sonic hit the door head first, causing some snow to drop on him. Antoine laughed again, and Sonic noticed that he held an icy bucket as he ran away, snow crunching under his butt. He's getting better. I'll give him that, he muttered, standing and brushing the snow off his coat. The door opened as Sally stood there, silhouetted against the light. Sonic? She asked. What are you doing out there? Long story, he answered, rubbing his freezing posterior. Can I come in? Sure, Sally said, moving out of the doorway. Sonic walked into the hut and noticed that Sally was in a brown robe with a towel over her hair. Woo! Thank you! I just got out of the shower, she explained, tying her robe more securely. Oh, okay, Sonic said nonchalantly, trying not to stare at her. He stared down gingerly at one of the chairs. It's cold out there. I know, Sally said, rubbing her hair with a towel. There's nothing like a hot shower on a cold day. She sat down on her bed and pulled the towel off her head. Besides, we all know that when women get into the cold, some... Yo! I'm back from getting the mail. Don't tie Turkey's patience! Yes, ma'am. No more pervert, I promise. So, mind telling me why you were out? She asked, pushing her hair back out of her face. Sonic just stared at Sally, trying to hold in a laugh. What? Sally asked, touching her face. What's wrong? Sonic's face twisted as he tried to stifle his laughter. See for yourself, he managed to squeeze out. Sally picked up a mirror, checking her face for wherever Sonic saw, but nothing seemed wrong. She put down the mirror and was going to demand Sonic explain himself. She caught a glimpse at her hair. Yeah! She yelled, snatching at the mirror. My hair's purple! Looks like Antoine got you too, Sonic said. Then he burst out laughing. Well, at least this is better than your blonde or brunette phase. Sally ran her hand through her hair. Me too? What did he do to you? The old snake in the can bit. Ruined my chili dogs, though. Sally put down the mirror and looked at Sonic square in the eyes. Bunny did mention something about Antoine working on new pranks, she said. But that was so many months ago, I forgot. Seems he's finally putting it to use, Sonic said with mirthless side. And he's following up on him. Sally leaned forward. What do you say getting him back, after I get dressed? She asked conspiratorially. Sonic smiled again, a different kind of laughter lighting his eyes. I'll be outside, he said, standing and walking to the door. By the way, where's Sandra? Sally shrugged. Last I heard, she was off somewhere with Tails. Why? Just wondering, that's all. Sonic walked out the door, closed it behind him. A few minutes later, Sally joined Sonic outside her hut. Where do you think he went? She asked, nearly slipping on ice. Sonic caught her. Though the snow was piling up, it remained very cold. Easy, Sal. It's slippery. Another of Antoine's pranks. Are you two little birds to be talking about what? Antoine asked, peering over the mound of snow. Let's get him! Sonic and Sally yelled, holding hands and running towards Antoine's hiding place. They jumped the mound and landed easily on the other side, but Antoine was nowhere to be seen. I'm getting a really bad feeling about this, Sally said uneasily, looking around. What do I say, girl? A voice asked from behind another mound of snow. Bunny and Antoine poked their heads up above the snow, smiling. Sonic and Sally dived behind a snowbank as Antoine and Bunny let loose on them with snowballs. We've been set up, Sally said, wiping the snow from her face. Sonic gathers the snow into a small pile of snowballs. Let's say we give them some of their own medicine, he asked, tossing one up and down his hand. Sally made some snowballs herself. She grabbed one in each hand. Return fire! She yelled, standing up and throwing in Antoine and Bunny's general direction. Soon, an all-out snowball fight erupted between the two couples. Snowballs flew fast and furious, and Nahul rang with their laughter. The fight continued for some 15 minutes when both sides noticed they were getting hit from two other directions and called a truce. On one side were Tails and Sandra. The other side were Rotor and Dulcie. Ah, Rotor brought his beard. Is this a private party, or can we play too? Tails called. The four exchanged quick glances, and soon all 8 of them were throwing snowballs around. No team had any clear advantage, but all were having fun. Finally, Sally called an end to it. Enough! She called, standing up and waving her arms. Sandra tried to stop the throw, but already released the ball. It smacked Sally right in the face, knocking her hood off her head. What happened to your hair? She asked her sister as Sally cleaned her face. He happened to it, she yelled, pointing at Antoine. He's starting his new pranks, and we were his first victims. Don't be too sure, lad, Aunt Bunny smirked innocently. All of a sudden, things are starting to make sense, Tails grumbled, glaring at Antoine. Please do not be overly concerned about your hair, my princess, Antoine said, walking out from behind cover of Bunny. It is not less long. In fact, it should be back to normal by next morning.
Oh, wow, Tony, you've come a really long way in your language studies,
Delzy remarked, impressed.
Oui, and I am owning it all to this beautiful dot here,
he said, kissing Bunny soundly.
So, what'd you stop us, Sally?
Rover asked.
I mean, we haven't had much opportunity for fun lately.
Well, since we all seem to have so much more energy, how about we go on our raid tonight? Sally suggested. Last time we were in Robotropolis, I found a hallway that's not on any of the maps I have. There was a door at the end of it that was guarded by at least a half-dozen SWAT bots. I want to know what's in that room.
Sounds good to me,
Sonic said, shivering some melted snow dripped from his neck. But I think we could all use some hot chocolate before we go.
Race to my hut! Last one there gets no marshmallows.
Later that night, they snuck into Robotropolis. Alright, you all know what to do, Sally told them in hushed tones. We meet back at the usual place in 30 minutes.
Gotcha, sis, Sandra said.
Well, guys, let's do it to it! Everyone bumped fists in the secret knothole handshake. Sandra, Tails, Rudder, and Dulcie left them, setting up a diversion at one of Robotropolis' main generators. Let's get into position, Sally said. They hurried to where Sally had indicated the hallway was and waited. What's on your mind, Sal? Sonic asked, watching the SWAT bots carefully. What do you mean, Sonic? Sally asked. Nothing. It's just that you seem distant since that snowball fight. What's up? Oh, that. Just something that Antoine said, that's all. Sonic, do you think Bunny's beautiful? She asked abruptly.
Say what?
Do you think Bunny's beautiful? Sally repeated.
I never really thought about it, Sonic said. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
Well, if we were to look up, Bunny's, list of, fan art on E621 versus Sally's, we see that Bunny has 1.2 thousand pictures on there, while Sally has 40,000. For those of you who are wondering, Rouge only has 13. So, yeah, I guess we can all see how hot and beautiful and sexy Bunny is. I mean, yeah, I guess so. Getting her normal parts back don't hurt. Oh, I see, Sally said, looking away. Even though I must admit my tests run exclusively to 17-year-old vixens who wear blue vests and have red hair to turn purple, Sonic remarked, especially when it comes to love. I'm with you, Sonic. Those are my tastes, too. Plus hot, sexy rabbits. And hot, sexy mongooses. And dolphins. And lemurs. And cute, adorable wolves who have PTSD. But right now, this stallion's got only one mare on his mind. Oh, Lady Applejack. If only you knew. Sally wiped away a tear. Thanks, Sonic. I really need to hear that. She kissed him on the cheek and gave him a quick hug. Come in, Sally. Sandra's voice rang over Cole. The verse is about to begin. Are you in position? We are, Sally said. Anytime you're ready. Understood. Sandra out. They waited in silence as the call for reinforcements came in over the SWATbot's comms. One of them sent 3 of their number to help. Bunny, Antoine, go! Sally directed after the SWATbots left. Bunny and Antoine walked across the intersection. Antoine tripped, making a lot of noise. The SWATbots looked up as Bunny helped him stand. Antoine yelled in fear, and he and Bunny ran. Sonic and Sally watched from the shadows as the same SWATbot sent the other 2 after Bunny and Antoine. Antoine sure is a great actor, Sonic commented. Still can't believe he had me fooled all these years. That's weird, Sally was saying, paying no attention to Sonic. Seeing the SWATbots was ordered one of the others around. Look at the red marks on his arm. Yeah, I see him, Sonic said. His mind went back on the other business at hand. Maybe he's a higher rank than the others? Well, we got to get inside. Can you lead the other one away? I don't like leaving you by yourself, Sonic said, troubled. I'll be fine, Sally said with false bravado. But we don't know what's on the other side of that door. For all we know, it could be another dozen SWAT bots or a broom closet. You have a point, Sally admitted grudgingly. She opened up Nicole. Nicole, can you scan behind that door? Scanning now, Sally, Nicole answered. It's a small room with only a wooden table in its center. No robotics, machinery, or life forms present. Satisfied, Sonic? Sally asked. Oh, all right. Choose time! Sonic ran out of the shadows until he stood in front of the SWAT bots. Did anybody ever tell you you were ugly and you dress funny? He asked, ready with his usual comeback. But the SWAT bots surprised him. Yeah, Hedgehog, it said in an unusually normal voice. But you're uglier, and all you got is sneakers, so what you saying? Say what? Sonic asked, surprised, scratching his head. The SWAT bot grabbed for him. Priority 1, Hedgehog alert! It droned in his more recognizable voice. Now this I can relate to, Sonic said, revving up his legs. Out of here! He ran backwards until out of the hallway and turned around, always staying just one step out of the SWAT bot's grasp. Sally waited until the hallway was perfectly quiet before coming out of the shadows. She hurried to the door and opened it. As Nicole said, the room was completely unoccupied, except for the table. She walked to the table and poked around some papers that cluttered it. Nothing caught her eye until she came across a folder marked Top Secret in big red letters. She opened it up and skimmed through the contents. The folder contained about 10 pages of schematics for an unbelievably complicated piece of machinery. She looked it over for a couple of minutes before it dawned on her exactly what she was looking at. Oh my gosh, she said slowly. These are the plans for the roboticization gun. I gotta get these back to Knothole. Sally closed the folder and ran out the room. Meanwhile, Sonic was annoying the SWAT bot. What's the matter? Can't keep up? He called tauntingly. He was so wrapped up in his taunting, he never noticed that he had entered a rather unfamiliar area of Robotropolis. In fact, it almost seemed like the SWAT bot was herding him towards a particular pile of snow. But that was impossible. After all, SWAT bots were only mindless robots. Sonic neared the pile, intending to merely run around it, continuing on his way. When he got a few feet of it, though, he felt as he passed through an energy field. Whoa! He said, stopping because of the distance he felt. Oh, that was mondo weird. The SWAT bot stood just beyond the energy field. What's the matter? Can't handle it. Sonic, what's the matter? Can't handle it? Sonic asked when the dizziness passed. But the SWAT bot continued to stand there. Whatever, Sonic muttered. Time to end this game anyway. He pulled out a power ring out of his backpack. He was surrounded by its light and took off for Knothole at full speed. At least, that's what he planned. In reality, he ran a few feet, then got stopped in his tracks by an invisible energy barrier. The force knocked the power ring out of his hand, was flew from the barrier into a nearby pile of snow. Ugh! What gives? Sonic demanded, pounding ineffectually on the barrier. What gives, Pincushion, is my newest invention, a nasal voice said from behind him. Sonic turned to look and saw Snively and Metal Sonic standing there, smiling. Sonic rushed at them, only to come up against another barrier just in front of them. Oh, come on, bro! Metal Sonic said sarcastically. I know you're stupid! You don't have to prove it to me! Oh yeah? Try this! Sonic ran the other way and into a spin attack just before he contacted the barrier. Nothing happened. Sonic hit the snow-covered ground, exhausted. My, that was amusing, Snively said. You see, Sonic, the shield that surrounds you exerts whatever force you use against it right back at you to keep you in. It'll let you in, but it won't let you out. I'll take this, somehow Sonic said, grabbing Sonic's backpack and ripping it off as he passed. Hey! Sonic yelled, standing up and going after Metal Sonic, only to bump into the shield again. One other thing I forgot to mention, Snively said casually. The shield only affects living things. He muscled to the SWAT bot, who reached in and grabbed Sonic by his neck, squeezing painfully. Sonic fought to free himself, but the robot pulled until Sonic was against the shield. Only his hand remained inside. A second, Sonic blacked out. "Drop him," stiffly ordered, pressing a button to release the shield.
Why don't you just roboticize him now?
Metal Sonic asked his organic counterpart hit the ground. "I should, but I want to try something. If we roboticize him, it'll either break the Freedom Fighters or make them more dangerous than ever." "Well, if you read Mecha Madness, you'll see that it turns him into a very powerful kill bot that can take out every single one of them easily, and we require Knuckles." "I prefer to use this one as bait to capture the others, then make them watch as he's roboticized. Help us to prevent it."
I just hope you don't make this into a mistake like your uncle did,
Metal Sonic remarked, picking up Sonic. "I won't. Besides, even if this plan fails, it'll give me a chance to see how my new artificial intelligence SWAT bots acted during a rescue attempt. Take him to the roboticizer and keep him there." As they left, a shadowy figure detached itself from a patch of darkness. It crept off the snow pile where Sonic's power ring had fallen, dug it out the rapidly melting pile, placed the ring under the vest. Device 1. Activate. It sent flying off through the chill air unseen and unheard toward Knothole. "Cannonball!" Sandra yelled as she shot out of the suit and landed in the snow-covered hay right beside Tails. She felt herself getting pulled out and placed on her feet. She looked around and saw one of their party was missing. "Hey, where's Sonic?" she asked, pulling a few stalks out of her hair quills.
Actually, we were hoping you could answer that, Rudder said. Sonic's never the last one to show up. We haven't heard anything out of him.
"I hope he's okay," Sally said, sounding worried. "Sonic's fine now, Sally," Tails said, smiling. "There wasn't anything Robotnik could throw at him to stop him. It definitely can't do any better." "I hope you're right, honey," she said, shaking her head slowly. "You know, I have to keep reminding myself you're only 11. Tails' smile broadened. Before he could say anything, Sandra spoke up. "I'll tell you what, sis. If it'll make you feel better, I'll take Miles and search for any sign of Sonic between here and Robotropolis." "Thanks, Sandra," Sally said, forcing a smile. "I appreciate it. Just don't actually go inside Robotropolis." Tails grabbed onto Sandra's waist, and she juiced up to shoot to the top. "Okay, Sonic can come down one or two paths. I'll take the left one." "Sounds good," Tails agreed. "I'll take the right one then. Just think here, okay?" "Of course," Sandra said slightly. "Meet you back at Knothole." She revved up and took off. Tails watched her go, then flew down another path. He thought back to what Sally said. "Aunt Sally's right. You ever forget that I'm 11 sometimes. If Sandra and I were really 16, he let his thoughts trail off. "Sonic!" Sandra called, running down the path. "Yo, Sonic! Where are you at?" "Man, the snow makes everything seem so quiet. It's almost as still as death out here." Suddenly, Nadia started beeping. "What's up, Nadia?" she asked, stopping and taking Nadia from her boot. "Incoming transmission from Donovan," Nadia said as Sandra opened her up. "Wonder what Squirrel Boy wants." "Ease off, Nadia. Put it through." "This is a pre-recorded message," his voice said. "Greetings, Sandra. This recording is to inform you that Quills has been captured by Sinvely and his robots. Apparently he's developed new artificially intelligent ones, so be careful. He has elected not to roboticize him yet. Instead, he will use him to lure the rest of you into trying to save him. I'm currently Robotropolis, scouting for the best way to reach him, and setting up necessary diversions to allow an opportunity to effect a rescue. Contact me on this frequency on Nadia's screen when you're ready to act. End message." "Oh look, he's even using a codec." Sandra stood there, stunned by the news. "Oh man, Sally's not gonna like this one bit. I better go get Miles and get back as soon as I can." She turned around and choosed to back the way she had come, calling on her bracelet to aid her speed. Sandra, as she might have guessed, understated the case. "What?" Sally screamed when Sandra told her Donovan's message. "This can't be! Not my Sonic!" "Calm down there, Sally girl," Bunny said, trying to restrain her physically. "Donovan did say he was going to use this bite, like a steel-safe sugar hog." Oui, my princess, Antoine added, helping Bunny hold her down. I may not have always liked that blue bundle of keys, but I've always noted that he is a survivor. Sally forced herself to take a few deep breaths and calm down. I'm okay, she said finally. You sure? Bunny asked, letting go slowly and motioning Antoine to do the same. Sally nodded. What we need right now is to keep clear heads in order to plan our rescue. I'm just a little stressed out right now. Sandra, contact Donovan and have him come here. I don't want him acting on his own after what just happened to Sonic. Nadia, open the channel on Donovan's frequency, Sandra directed. Personally, I got a few complaints about this portrayal of Sally in these stories. I feel like he's making Sally too emotional. Maybe it's just the way I prefer doing Sally and thinking about it, but I would almost rather see this scene as Sally hearing the news and for a moment looking very stoic and giving out the entire information, saying what her plans are, what she's thinking, and what they're going to do in case of emergency, then telling everybody to leave. Then once everyone's gone, okay, Bunny and Sally friendship moment. Once everyone's gone, save for Bunny, Bunny sits down with Sally and tells her, okay, everyone's gone. Now you can cry. And then Sally has a breakdown. Because Sally's a princess. She knows she has to be in command. She knows she has to be a leader. And she knows everyone has to follow her. Because if Sonic's not there, who else can they look to? So Sally knows what she has to do. Or maybe I just really like that part in Mecha Madness where Sally starts acting calm and starts showing how many strategies she has to take out Sonic. Nadia, open channel on Donovan's frequency, Sandra directed. Stand by. Channel open. Donovan, this is Sandra. Are you reading me? Yes, Sandra. Donovan answered. Are you ready to act? No. Sally wants you to come here to Nahil so we can better coordinate our efforts. Silence meant Sandra's words. Then Nadia spoke. Connection terminated by Donovan. We'll give him 15 minutes. Then we go after Sonic. With or without Donovan. Sally added, with special emphasis. 5 minutes later, Sally and Sandra were in the war room, discussing various routes of attack and possible areas where Sonic could be held. I'm telling you, he's probably being held in the prison cells, Sally said, indicating the location on the holographic image Uncle Chuck had built. I don't know, sis, Sandra said doubtfully. Snively knows no cell can hold Sonic, no matter how many new SWAT bots he has guarding him. I think he's being held in the main command center. You're both in error, a voice said close behind him. Quills is being held in the roboticization chamber. Startled, the princesses turned to look and saw Donovan standing there smugly. I really wish you wouldn't do that, Sally said. I could not change my nature, princess, he answered simply. Then he stared at Sally. Is it just me, or did someone use your head to crush grapes? Right now, what Antoine did is the furthest thing from my mind, Sally said. The roboticization chamber? Sandra protested, just now realizing what Donovan had said. But I thought you said he would not be roboticized. I did. However, Snively plans to have you watch as Quills is roboticized. He seems to have developed a sadistic streak. Over my dead body, Sally swore. Over many, many dead bodies, if we're not careful. Please, Donovan, you'll overwhelm us with confidence, Sally said sarcastically. So, what else has your scanning found out? First, please have Nadia scan the area for anything unusual. Nadia's busy right now, Sandra said, indicating the computer on the nearby table with some papers in front of her. I'll have Nicole scanned, Sally said, taking Nicole and opening her up. Even though I don't know why and don't have time to figure out, Nicole, scan the area for anything unusual. Scanning now, Sally, Nicole said. A few seconds, Nicole spoke again. There's nothing living or mechanical within 5 meters of this hut. Good. The best path, in my opinion, lies through here, Donovan said, tracing a path through his finger. At the right times, it'll nearly be devoid of swap bots, though there are a few obstacles. What kind of obstacles? Sally inquired. And don't hold back this time like you did when Bunny went for her wish. Donovan removed his shades and fixed Sally with purple eyes. With all due respect, silly, I am helping you of my own accord today, an occurrence you should not become accustomed to. What I say and how I choose to say it is not your concern. Is that understood? He asked, eyes starting to shift to red. As Sally was intimidated, she did not show it. She continued staring at Donovan until he replaced his shades. There are two that I've been able to identify, he said, returning his attention to the holograph. In the hall of the main building is a pressure-sensitive paneling that will react if it records a weight that does not belong to either a SWATbot, Sinvely, or Metal Psych. What it'll do, I'm not certain. The main door of the chamber has been computer locked with a multi-level access code. That'll take time to break. Is that all? Sally asked, still intimidating that he was holding back. Easy, sis, Sandra said, laying her hand on Sally's arm. I know you're worried about Sonic. We all are. But you've got to keep it together, for his sake. I suggest you listen to your sister, silly, Donovan said. You'll never reach Quills in that state of mind. He pulled a powder ring from his vest and threw it on the table next to Nadia. If Sinvely found a way to counter Quills using a power ring, we must use extreme caution. Sally glared at Donovan, but then her gaze softened. You're right. It's just that, well, if it wasn't for the fact that I do not wish to know any more than is absolutely necessary to save him. Donovan interrupted. The final decision is yours. All right, we'll follow your suggestions. How long do we have till the next window of opportunity? Donovan checked his watch. I say approximately 20 minutes. Marshal your forces. I'll await you in Robotropolis. If you excuse me, Device 1... Analysis is complete, Sandra. Nadia spoke suddenly from where she laid on the table. These plans do not make sense. High chance of forgery. Damn! Sally swore. It was all for nothing. Plans? What plans? Donovan asked, turning to Sally. Our latest raid was because I found a hallway not on any map. Sally explained. This one's Sonic. But that'll be for later, she amended, catching Donovan's frown. I can guess what happened. You found plans marked top secret, and after skimming through them, you saw that they looked like plans for the robotization gun. But Nadia says identified them as fake. On the narrow, squirrel boy. Stop calling me that, Donovan muttered, while Sally covered her mouth to hide her smile. How did you know that? Sandra asked. Donovan pulled a folder from underneath his vest. Because I found my own copy and came to similar conclusions, he said, tossing on the table. It seems odd Sinvely would devote 6 SWATbots to guarding a fake, Sandra observed. There has to be something we're missing. Maybe you two working together can figure it out? Donovan stared at Sandra incredulously. You honestly expect me to work with that bad attitude computer? You expect me to work with a no-account braggart who shows no respect to anyone? Respect must be earned, Donovan said softly. Enough, you two, Sally ordered. Sandra's right. So while the rest of us try to save Sonic, you two stay here and figure out those plans. But, Donovan and Nadia protested. No buts. Remember, Donovan, you said the final decision is mine. And this is it. Donovan scowled and Nadia showed her frowning face hologram. As you command, princess, Donovan said, bowing. However, you should know that Sinvely has some new SWATbots I was going to inform you of later. Yes. I've seen the ones with the red markings on their arms. Do you know what that means? Sinvely has equipped those SWATbots with an artificial intelligence similar to the one he uses in Metal Sonic. Sally nodded. Thank you for the information. Now, we best be going if we're to make our window. Look, we're not going to get anywhere unless we work together, Nadia said after the two princesses left. You have a remarkable grasp of the obvious, Donovan said. How about we call a truce until we figure this out, okay? Fine, Donovan said, yawning. Let's get to work. Are you sure this'll work, Sally girl? Bunny asked, rubbing the sleep from her eyes. She and the others had tried to catch a few minutes' worth of sleep before the rescue mission. Yeah, I can imagine that as soon as everyone found out that Sonic was captured, it was like this. We're all gonna die! Run away! It's all pandemonium here! No, I'm not, Sally admitted. But I know if it does, I'll need all your help to do it. Are the secondary guards in place?
Oui, my princess, Antoine said. I made sure myself. They are all well protecting against the cold.
Good. Let's get the way over there then. At least the snow hasn't started up again. Sally led the way while the others followed behind her. In the meantime, Donovan was sitting down in a chair, nodding off while Nadia scans the pages. Hey, Squirrel Boy, you're helping or what? Nadia asked, as just as Donovan was about to fall asleep. Donovan jerked back to full wakefulness. I told you not to call me that, Nadine, Donovan said. Oh, so the one who has the nicknames for everyone can't take one for himself, can he? At least my nicknames make sense, Donovan countered. They're not for everyone, just those I knew as a child. I don't call Miles or Sandra by any nicknames, do I? Well, I would call you Donnie, but I think that's what Antoine calls you. I like to add my own personal touch to things. Oh, you're touched all right, Donovan muttered. I heard that. If it wasn't for your wish, Hey, wait a minute. This is weird, and I'm not talking about you. So, you're talking about yourself then? I'm serious. These planets are not the same. What? Donovan demanded, springing out of his chair. Well, pages 1 to 4, 6, and 8 to 10 are the same between the two plans, but pages 5 and 7 differ. How so? Donovan asked, scrutinizing the indicated pages. Subtly at best, but most importantly, it's the fact that page 5 of our copy has a mark your page 5 doesn't. Also, your page 7 has a mark that, while our page 7 doesn't. Donovan said, thinking. You don't suppose Sinvely took the actual 10 pages and split them up amongst 10 otherwise fake plans? Nadia asked. Well, only one way to make sure. Get another set of plans. What now? Nadia demanded as Donovan put on his trench coat. Yep, Donovan said, picking up Nadia. Does our truce still stand? I'll admit, I'm curious about this. Okay, truce still on until we get the plans. Fine. Device 1 activate. They flew off towards Robotropolis. Is everyone ready? Sally whispered, looking around. Everyone nodded. Good. Antoine, do your thing. Antoine walked in front of the two SWAT bots that were guarding the building.
Excuse me, but do you know where the kitchen is?
He asked nonchalantly. The two SWAT bots looked at each other, then raised their rifles.
Freeze, organic life form!
One droned.
If you insist,
Dulcie called from the SWAT bots. They looked up in time just to see Dulcie's freezing breath envelop them. Good work, Sally said, motioning the others forward. Dulcie, stand guard, but stay out of sight.
Gutsy, Sal!
Dulcie gave one thumbs up and hid in around the snow. Once inside, Sally regarded the huge carpet that covered the floor. There's no way to tell where the princess-sensitive panels are, she said thoughtfully, but maybe we don't have to. Tails, feeling strong today?
You betcha, Aunt Sally,
the young fox answered energetically. Think you can help me fight everyone over one at a time?
Sure!
He grabbed Sandra and flew across with her. Your turn, Rhoda, Sally said, holding his hands and flying across him. But on a return trip, Sally accidentally broke the invisible laser beam, setting off the alarm. Damn! She said, Run for you two! Bunny and Antoine ran across the carpet, but as they ran, a trap door opened under Bunny. Antoine grabbed her, keep her from falling. But the delay was costly. They all heard SWAT bots marching towards the room. Come on, you two, Sally encouraged. Antoine and Bunny took their heads.
We'll hold them here,
Bunny said, turning on the bike.
If they don't find anyone here, they'll look all over the place.
All right, but be careful. Get out when you can.
As you wish, my princess,
Antoine said, drawing his sword.
Remember,
the ones with the red bands on their arms think for themselves, Sandra yelled as they left. Antoine and Bunny turned to meet the approaching horde. Antoine grabbed Bunny and held her close.
This is, what is it? Do it,
he said. Bunny nodded. She kissed Antoine quickly and they separated, preparing for battle. I don't like leaving them, Sally said as they hurried down the path Donovan indicated. They're right, though, Sandra pointed out as the sounds of battle started up from the room they had just left. If they can hold the SWAT bots long enough, we could get to Sonic and get out. Besides, two have a better chance than one. Yeah, I guess so, Sally said grudgingly. Dolphin said there would be a computer-locked door and we had to get past. Everyone keep an eye out for it. At the other end of Robotropolis, Dolphin silently landed and melted into the shadows. Keep your scanners peeled for SWAT bots, he whispered to Nadia. I know my job, she whispered indignantly. You just make sure you know where we're going. Dolphin picked back his shot retort and hurried down a secret passage. He continued for 100 meters or so before Nadia's screen began blinking. There's a SWAT bot guarding a door 20 minutes east of here, she cautioned. Dolphin peered down the corridor. It was well lit and had just no side passages. In short, he'd be a sitting duck if he tried to get to the door. Also, he noticed that the SWAT bot had red bands on its arm and groaned. Can you scan what's behind that door? He asked. Too much magnetic interference, Nadia answered. Too much of a distance. Great, he said sarcastically. Well, is there anything you could do? Just point me at the SWAT bot, squirrel boy. You'll see what I can do. Dolphin made as if to draw his sword, but just pointed Nadia at the SWAT bot. Numbers started flashing across Nadia's screen at such a rapid rate that Dolphin was getting a headache trying to follow them. But nothing seemed to be happening to the SWAT bot. Then electrically started crackling around the SWAT bot. Its limbs moved jerkily as if no longer under control. Forgive me, Nadia exclaimed. I have a flair for the dramatic. The SWAT bot exploded, shedding red-hot shells of metal whizzing down the passage into the walls. Dolphin just stared at the smoldering remnants of the SWAT bot. You have to show me how you did that, he said, giving her a certain amount of credit. What? You never seen a computer virus before? Nadia asked innocently. Not one that works that fast, Dolphin said, walking down the hallway. Just a little something Sandra's been working on, Nadia said, trying to lock with her laser. This is the first time it's been used. I think Sandra will be happy with the results. I say so. Dolphin opened the door and quickly surveyed the room. I believe this is what we're looking for, he said, picking up a folder. Now let's get back. Device 1, activate. What? You didn't leave a receiver chip back in that hole? Nadia asked as he flew off. Dealing with a real brainiac here. Will you back off? I had other things on my mind, Nadine. Yes, girl boy? I'm surprised you can have more than one thing on your mind. Will you stop calling me that? I prefer to call you other things, but my programming doesn't allow use of profanity. Why, you oversized transistor radio. I've got a good mind to, if you say so. And so it continued, all the way back to Knot Hole. I found something! Tails called from the side passage. The others hurried to where Tails was.
I don't remember this door being here,
Rora remarked thoughtfully. Then this must be it, Sally said. She hooked Nicole up to the access port in the terminal next to the door. Nicole, run password algorithm. Running, Sally. A few seconds passed. First password cracked, Sally. Come on, Nicole, hurry, Sally urged, looking around. Second password cracked, Sally.
Freeze organic life forms!
A metallic voice drummed behind her. Sally turned and saw a SWAT bot standing there, rifle pointed at her head. Her her eye, she saw the others in similar predicaments. Don't provoke them, Sally said, while slowly raising her hands. But Sandra seemed very calm. On my signal, duck, she said, clenching her hands. Duck! Everyone threw themselves flat as Sandra pointed at the SWAT bots. Crystal shards flew from her hands, destroying 3 SWAT bots immediately. The fourth, however, was had red bands on his arms, also ducked out of the way of the crystals. Sandra dropped to one knee, spent. Tails hurried to her side just as the last SWAT bot stood up.
I repeat, freeze organic life forms,
it commanded. Pointing its laser, Sally said again.
Would you rather have your princess a robot?
Final password cracked, Sally, Nicole said as the door opened. The SWAT bot looked at Nicole for only a split second, but that was all it took. Sandra pushed Tails aside and lifted the SWAT bot. She grabbed it around the arm just as the SWAT bot fired. Sally closed her eyes, waiting for that sickening feeling to envelop her, but nothing happened. She opened her eyes and saw the SWAT bot was turning to crystal as Sandra exerted her powers. When the transformation was complete, she threw the SWAT bot at the wall, shattering it. She stood there for a moment and fell forward. Sandra! Tails yelled, catching her before she hit the ground. That took a lot more out of me than I thought it would, Sandra said weakly. I need to rest. Sorry I can't continue along with you. Too bad. My bracelet won't help with this. Don't worry about it, Sally said, Smoothing her sister's sweat dampened quills. Tails, get her back to Knothole. Make sure Bunny, Antoine, and Dulcie are safely away by now.
Got you on, Sally.
Tails cradled Sandra in his arms and flew off into the direction that had just come.
Sally, the door's closing,
Rotor said, pointing. Let's move. Sally disconnected Nicole and ran through the door just before it closed. But Rotor didn't make it. Rotor, you okay?
Yeah.
He said, his voice muffled by the door.
Let's try to find another way in. Just hang tight till I get there.
No. Go back with Tails and Sandra. He's not going to be able to do much while carrying her.
All right. Just be careful, Sally.
Sally heard him running away, calling for Tails. She looked around, trying to get her bearings in the darkness. A bright light flared all around her. She had to squint against it.
Well. So it seems the high and mighty princess has come to rescue our boyfriend,
A nasal voice said. Where is he, Snively? Sally demanded, still trying to adjust her eyes to the light.
Why, he's right here. Can't you see him? All right. Maybe the light's too bright. Will this help?
The light dimmed to a normal level. Sally blinked her eyes, trying to clear the red spots from her vision. In front of her stood a vaguely hedgehog-shaped form. Sonic? She asked.
Close, princess!
The metal voice grated. Sally was struck hard in the stomach by a metallic fist. Sally doubled over, falling to her hands and knees. Metal Sonic! As he said, her vision cleared.
You got it!
The robot said, smiling. He grabbed Sally and hauled her up to her feet.
And now, for your entertainment, watch as Snively the Great turns ordinary old Sonic into a carbon copy of myself!
He tapped the tube that still had an unconscious Sonic. No! Sally yelled, kicking Metal Sonic in the back of his knee. The robot released her, falling backwards. Sally ran to the tube and banged on it. Sonic! Wake up! Sonic!
No, you don't!
Metal Sonic said, getting up and grabbing Sally from behind. He threw her against the console. Sally groaned as her body hit the hard metal. She pushed away just as Metal Sonic made for another grab at her.
Yes, something most amusing,
Snively said, sitting back in his chair.
Do you really think you could defeat him?
Sally paid no attention to Snively, focusing solely on Metal Sonic. The robot was smiling, inching closer and closer to her, trying to corner her. Sally kept circling, though not allowing herself to be cornered. Metal Sonic kept fading a lunge, keeping Sally back. She was sure it was only a matter of time before he got careless. Metal Sonic lunged, not fainting this time. He went into the first zone of spin attack as Sally dived out of the way. The robot landed against the wall and changed directions, and forcing Sally to dive out of the way. But then the robot made a mistake. It performed the same maneuver again, but Sally waited until the last second to dive out of the way. Metal Sonic uncurled a little too late and plowed into a console. Electricity sparked and Metal Sonic lay there helplessly as its circuits fried. Snively flipped the switch, cutting the power to that console before the damage was permanent.
Very good, he commented, but not good enough.
He raised the rifle and pointed at Sally.
Now, be a good princess and stand there while I roboticize that hedgehog.
I don't think so, Sally said, running at Snively. Snively, not prepared for this, was caught between pushing the button and pulling a trigger. Sally snapped away the rifle and grabbed Snively. She locked her hands around Snively and bridged back, bringing him up over in a belly-to-belly suplex. Snively landed hard. He rolled to his stomach and tried to scramble for the rifle, but Sally pounced on him. She grabbed one leg and locked it between hers. She fell forward and locked her hands under his chin, wrenching it to the side. Now, you'll tell me how to open that tube up, or I'll break your neck, she threatened.
You wouldn't dare,
Snively said in obvious pain.
He's not in here to kill.
Ordinarily, you'd be right. But because he threatened Sonic, I might make an exception. Do you really want to risk that? Snively snuggled briefly, then collapsed. Great, Sally thought. He fainted. I should snap his neck now and be done with it. Sally, no! Sonic yelled, having been awakened by the struggle. Though he did not hear her thoughts, he could read her intentions on her face. He's right. You're not a killer. Sonic? Sally said worriedly. Sonic! She released Snively and ran to the tube that held Sonic. Sonic, are you okay? Can you get there, out there? Sonic rubbed his neck. I think so. He started revving up his legs, but collapsed. Ugh, too late. Give me a few seconds.
You don't have that long, Hedgehog, Sinvely said, positioning himself so he aimed his rifle at both Sally and Sonic. Did you really think I would faint so easily?
Yes!
Go ahead, dodge out of the way. Either way, I will bonicize one of you, he yelled, pulling the trigger. Sonic flattened himself as much as possible as Sally dodged. Stiffly set himself for another shot, but Sally kicked the rifle from his hands. She struck Stiffly with a kick to the stomach, followed by a fist-elbow combination to the chin. Stiffly fell back to the console. Sally picked up the rifle and trained it on Stiffly. Release Sonic, or I turn you into a robot.
Go ahead and fire, Sinvely said. Do you really think I would create a weapon that could turn against me?
Sally hesitated for a second, then pulled the trigger. The purple beam fell at Snively, but the force from the beam field held Snively down. He did not change in the least.
Told you,
he sneered. Sally stopped the rifle and grabbed Snively by the throat. Release him, or you die. The fact that I fired you will convince you I'm serious. Snively searched Sally's eyes. Sonic could not see her expression, but whatever Sally saw made him shudder. He hit the button on the console, and the tube holding Sonic lifted. Sally threw Snively aside. She crouched and picked up the rifle and ran to Sonic's side. Can you run? She asked, concerned. Sonic nodded. He stood up and swayed unsteadily. Hold this, she said, holding the rifle. She picked him up in her arms and turned him around. Know this, Snively. If you ever try to harm him again, I will personally hunt you down and take you out. The last was said in a voice so sinister, even Sonic began shaking. Sally ran out of the room at full speed, picking up Sonic's backpack, which had lain in a corner. Snively took a few moments to collect himself, then went back over to Metal Sonic. He flipped a few switches and Metal Sonic came back online. I'm glad you installed all those secondary circuits in me, the robot said.
Indeed.
Snively walked over to a computer pal.
Computer, put Robotropolis on yellow alert.
Voice print confirmed, the computer said. All SWAT bots now have orders to shoot unauthorized organic life forms on sight.
Was that necessary?
Metal Sonic asked.
Yes. I've underestimated the fire of the Freedom Fires. I've never seen Princess Sally so angry as she was tonight. You know, I truly believe she would have killed me.
I see. It'll take some time for the SWAT bots to adapt to their new orders.
I know, and we will be invulnerable until then. Take some AI SWAT bots and station them at key areas.
Understood.
He took off to fulfill his orders. Back at Knothole, Nadia had just finished going over the new set of plans. It's official, she declared. This page 6 differs from the others, and when I compare it with the correct pages 5 and 7, there is a complete circuitry evident. Snively's more clever than I realized, Donovan admitted. There are 7 other files out there, each one with only one correct page. We have our work cut out for us. He checked his watch, but I see the others should be returning soon. I will depart. Device 1 activated. Wait, Nadia called as he flew out the door. Stupid squirrel. Didn't even take a copy of the plans. Oh well, I bet this will be an interesting tale. The next day, after Sonic fully recovered from his ordeal, Sally dropped by with a plate of chili dogs. Hope you're hungry, Sonic, she said, opening the door. Then she saw Sonic was packing his backpack. And where do you think you're going? She inquired, arching one eyebrow playfully. But Sonic was not in a playful mood. Away, he said, not looking up. Away? What does that mean? I mean away. I need time to myself right now, Sally. Sally put the chili dogs down, suddenly aware this was not a joke. Sonic, what's the matter? Sonic sighed and sat down on his bed. Sal, I should never have been caught like that, he said dejectedly. I mean, I just haven't been myself lately. Sonic, everyone's had an off day, Sally said encouragingly. You just need time to relax. We all do. I mean, you saw the stress did to me last night. That was a side of me that I never knew existed. True that. You know what? I honestly thought you would kill Snively. Well, I was thinking about it. Almighty knows he would kill us in a heartbeat. Well, guess I got a lot of frustration built up over so long, I needed to let this out. I mean, after we defeated Robotnik and his Doomsday device,
I thought it was finally over. I thought we'd be able to put Mobius back together, be normal teenagers for once. But then Snively shows up and it starts all over again. I'm almost at my breaking point with this. And I guess that's wrong with you too. No, Sal. It's not about frustration or anger, even though I have my own fair share of those emotions. Sonic said, rising to his feet. Ever since we came back from the void, I've been thinking about what it offered me. I mean, it said my parents are alive. All this time I've never known them. I have so many things to ask them. Things I have to know. So that's it then? But how do we know the void was telling the truth? Maybe because it said those things just to get us to leave it alone. Maybe, but I have to know, one way or another. Sonic, it's the middle of winter. Of all the times for this has to be the worst. Why does he wait until spring, when it might be easier? No, Sal, I put this off too long. I have to do this now, before I put you in some kind of danger. Then I'm going with you, Sally declared. Sonic shook his head. No, Sally, I have to do this alone. And just how do you intend to find them? Sally inquired. Like you said, you don't know a thing about them. No, but Uncle Chuck does. Every time I tried asking him about it when I was young, he always said he'd tell me when I was older. Well, I'm older now. So you're determined to do this, and nothing I can do or say will change your mind? Not this time, Sally. All right, Sally said, holding back her emotions. But you better come back to me. I won't forgive you if I never see you again. Sonic had to smile at that. I'll make you a deal. If I don't find anything, I'll be back in a week. All right, and Sonic? Sally said, stopping as he was putting on his coat. Be careful out there. I will, Sally. I promise. Sonic hugged Sally close and kissed her deeply. Sally returned his kiss in kind. No matter remained like that, Sonic had not pulled away. I have to go, before I change my mind, he said, picking up his backpack and running out the door. Sally sat on Sonic's bed, lost in thought. At that moment, Sandra came running into the hut. Hey, Sally, she said, shaking the snow out of her light armor and hair quills. We're starting up a snowball fight again. You and Sonic want to join in? Sonic's not here, Sally answered dully. Not here? Then where is he? He left, in search of his parents. He did? Sandra asked. Oh, that's right, the void incident. Don't worry, he'll be back. Sally managed a weak smile, then lay down. If you don't mind, I think I'd like to be alone, she said, snuggling under the covers. Sandra eyed her sister concerned, knowing the full plate of still steaming chili dogs. I'll be outside, if you need me. So he walked outside promptly and got nailed with 3 snowballs. Sally turned her aside, closed her eyes. This week will be the longest one of my life, she thought. Oh, Sonic, you have to come back to me. I don't care about anything else, as long as you're back here safely. Take care, my love. She drifted off to sleep, with Sonic being the last thought on her mind.